panning us?
I'm going.
All right, we're panning the crowd for the informational speech. Thanks to you guys for coming out. We got 5 willing participants, 1 camera operator. We just had to bribe them with a little bit of pizza, but that was a low-cost solution to get an audience. So Angie's running our camera today, and we'll get started here just in a minute.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you for tuning in to today's edition of The End. Usually on The End we talk about medical problems, and today we're going to take a little different approach. Today we're going to talk about money. I'm going to show you some real life people that started out with very little money and ended up with a lot. I'm going to show you some websites that you can go to learn about money, how to make your money work for you so that it grows. And third, I'm going to show you how you can start saving money right now in easy ways that'll help you to have a whole lot more money when you get ready to retire. Now, I know some of you that's a long way off, but I think you'll like these stories. And the first person I want you to think about, Gabrielle, is a lady named Osceola McCarty. Osceola McCarty, that's her name right there, was born in 1908 in southern Mississippi. And do you know what she did for a living? She washed clothes. She would go out of her house early in the morning, go down to the end of the street, turn on the fire hydrant, get a bucket full of water out of the fire hydrant, and go back and use a washboard and scrub those shirts till they were all clean and wrench them out. She didn't say rinse them out. She said, I wrenched them out. And then she'd hang them on the line so that the sunshine and the wind would make them real soft and white. Well, Osceola McCarty in 1908 started washing clothes. 75 years later, she saved a lot of her money from washing clothes. And you don't make a whole lot of money washing clothes. She had $280,000 when she retired from washing clothes. But the neat thing that she did, Osceola McCarty was a giver. She gave $150,000 to the school down the street so that people who couldn't afford to go to college could come to school. But I want to tell you somebody else that was really important in knowing how to earn money. Her name was Ann Schreiber. And in 1944, Ann retired as a bookkeeper, and she had $5,000. But when she died in 1995, she was 101 years old. When she died, she had $22 million. So there's some examples of real life people, started out just like me and you, that ended up with a lot of money. And you can find more stories at their website. It's called philanthropyroundtable.org. And I'm going to give you a piece of paper with those websites on it. That way you'll know where to go and look for stories about ordinary people, just like me and you, that started out with a little bit of money and ended up with a lot. Now, how can we do that? Well, I'll tell you, it's easier than it sounds. If you can find $100 a month, that's $25 a week, and save that for 40 years, you're going to have a lot of money. But it depends on the interest rate, and I'm going to show you what interest rate means. If you put your money in a savings account, and the bank gives you a 0.5% interest rate, at the end of that 40 years, you'll have $54,721. Well, that may sound like a lot of money, but it's really not. You got to have more than that to retire. So maybe you can find a money market that'll give you 2%. You'll end up getting $76,582. Well, that sounds a little better, but it's still not enough to retire on. What you want to do is find a way to get invested in the stock market, because over the life of the stock market, the average return per year is 9%. If you can get 9%, you'll end up with $479,642 at the end of that 40 years. But I promised you I would show you a way to save some more money. We talked about real life people. We talked about how you can do this. But now I'm going to show you some easy ways to save. When you go to the Red Box, it costs you $1.25 to rent a movie, doesn't it? Or Morgan, when you go to get a soft drink out of the vending machine, maybe $1.50. If you can save on your soda, or you can save on your movies or on your pizza, just $1.25 a day, you can do that every day, you'll end up with $609,000 instead of $479,000. Just saving on your soda over that 40-year period can give you another $120,000. So let's kind of summarize what we did. Now that you know that ordinary people like Osceola, the washerwoman, and Ann Schreiber, the bookkeeper, can start out with almost no money and end up with a lot, now that you know that, I'm going to give you some tools to put to work. If you go to Fool.com and click on the article 13 Steps to Investing, it'll tell you how to get started. It'll teach you all about it. If you go to Investopedia.com, you'll find out what Albert Einstein said about compound interest. And interest is how your money grows. You know who Albert Einstein is. He said that compound interest was the greatest mathematical discovery ever. So go to Investopedia.com and read about compound interest. And again, I want to give you a sheet of paper with this information on it. But here's a good place to get started. DaveRamsey.com. Because sometimes people have debt. They don't know how to get out of debt. And you go to Dave Ramsey and click on his debt snowball, and he'll show you how to get out of debt. But the best thing I'm going to do for you today, now that you know you can do this just like Osceola and Ann, is I'm going to give you some dollars to get started today. Now you've got a chance to invest some money. And you can end up, at the end of your life, giving money away to your school or your church or wherever it is that you'd like to help your community. So thank you guys for coming out. Dennis, you got short of $1. I don't know what happened there. Thank you very much. I want to give you a round of applause for coming out today. I'm glad you were here. Thank you very much. Angie, thank you for filming.